Good morning. Someone responded to the last edition of Riffing on Mail Call by asking if the Herald Mail ever prints comments from anyone with anything intelligent to say. The answer is yes. Sometimes. The intelligent comments just get buried underneath all of the ignorance, paranoia, misinformation, and lunacy that you would expect to find in an anonymous public forum printed by a shitty, pathetic local newspaper desperate to hang on to its ever-shrinking readership through any possible means, no matter how embarrassing or transgressive of the most basic rules of journalistic responsibility and integrity. So, given that comment, and given that I'm in a really good mood this week, I'm going to give the crazy people a break and spend most of this video focusing on the rational comments I've found as I've been pouring through mail call these last 2 weeks. Unfortunately, there weren't enough of those to fill an entire 10-minute video, so I'm going to have to use a few of the crazy ones too. The following comments, sane and otherwise, are taken from editions of Mail Call printed in the Herald Mail from October 12 to October 25th, 2010, which can be viewed online in their entirety at www.herald-mail.com. Let's ease into this with a crazy one from Roarsville. To the Tea Party basher, I suspect that you were one of the participants in the communist, socialist, racist, radical rally in Washington, D.C. on Saturday. Only one comment. Liberal Democrats like you are a disgrace to the rest of the American people. God bless America. So, bashing the Tea Party makes you a commie, a racist, and a radical. And worst of all, a liberal Democrat. But by that same rationale, criticizing a leftist would make you a fascist, a monarchist, and a reactionary. Are you cool with that, Roarsville? Do you need me to define any of those terms before you consider your answer? I'm reading the article here about Berkeley County and their high number of autistic students. I'm not a doctor, but I've read many doctor reports that attribute this to all the vaccines they're giving our kids. You can't take a little 2, 4, or 6-month-old baby and give them all these vaccines. It overloads their brain, and that's what's causing the autism, according to the reports that I've read, and I believe it makes sense. Anyway, parents, better pay more attention to what they're doing to your babies in the doctor's offices. Boonesboro. I could respond to this myself, but given the theme of this edition, I'd rather turn it over to one of those lonely voices of reason. Boonesboro caller. There have been many studies done on a possible link between childhood vaccines and autism, and only one, done many years ago, subsequently found it had serious scientific flaws, found a link. None of the many studies done since have found any connection. Despite what you read about some doctor's opinion, there's no reliable scientific evidence that vaccines cause autism, and since until recently we didn't really know what autism was or how to diagnose it, we have no idea how many people suffered from it 35, 100 years ago, or before vaccines were invented. But we do know very well about the millions of children who died or were crippled or disfigured or had their health impaired for life due to the diseases the vaccines you denounce have virtually wiped out. Frederick, Maryland. Yeah, this person's from Frederick, so I guess it doesn't really count. What I don't get is why someone from Frederick is reading the Herald Mail to begin with, when they have a perfectly good newspaper of their own, the Frederick News Post. It's like a real paper with editorial standards and everything. The comparison between the Herald Mail and the News Post is actually a pretty good analogy for the essential differences between Hagerstown and Frederick. Frederick is like Hagerstown, except people there give a shit. I just heard a good one. Obama snowman. He snowballed everyone just so he could get elected, and now he can't handle it. Halfway. Excuse me? He did what to everyone just so he could get elected? I don't remember this. He never snowballed me. I've never even met the president. And hey, you're complaining now, but isn't it kind of your own fault? If you weren't into that kind of thing, you should have said something. When he came up for that big sloppy kiss right after you blew a fat nut in his mouth, might have been a good time. What did you think he was going to do? I've never heard the president even mention this. Sounds like you're the one who can't handle it. Isn't it wonderful that in the worst economic time since the Great Depression, the anointed one can take time out of his busy campaign schedule to play yet another round of golf? Change indeed. Come on, 2012. Let him join the ranks of the unemployed, where he so justly deserves to be. Morgansville. I didn't know Sean Hannity lived in Morgansville, or could dial a phone. To the person who complained about there being trick-or-treating in Boonesboro on Sunday, I have a news flash for you. Not everybody in America is Christian. There are many faiths here now. Furthermore, the idea of treating somebody the way you would want to be treated is not a rule that is restricted to Christianity. All religions have some rule to that effect. You don't have to be Christian to teach your kids good morals. In fact, far too many people use religion as an excuse for bigotry and hatred against those who follow a different faith, among other reasons. Lastly, there's no school on Monday. Otherwise, the town council would have chosen a different date for trick-or-treat. No school the next morning, no problem. If you're against the kids trick-or-treating on that Sunday, then simply turn your porch light off and go read your Bible or something. You don't have to participate. Boonesboro. Yeah! Goddamn right, Boonesboro. Ooh, that felt good. I got a little bit of a rush from that. Let's see another one. To the person from Searfoss complaining about the sheriff's candidate sign on the utility pole. You say the person is still running, apparently. That's the problem with people in this county. They don't even know who's running. And if you don't know who's running, why do you care if they have a sign on a utility pole? Get involved. Get active. Knoxville, Maryland. Here's another one from outside Washington County, but fuck it. Keep it rolling, Chambersburg. Let me start by saying I, too, am not a witch. When it comes to Obamacare, I just want to say it is not a right as an American to die penniless, broke, and homeless of a curable disease. Oh! 3 in a row! How much longer can I keep this up? 2 more? 3 more? I see where the Obama healthcare plan started last week. My 24-year-old, working but no health insurance, can stay on my plan for 2 more years if need be. I cannot be canceled by my health plan if I get sick. Children cannot be denied for pre-existing conditions. Now, tell me, Republicans, which of these things do you want to repeal? Falling Waters, West Virginia. Yeah, that's 4. Come on, baby. If you are one of those people who think that chapters 18 and 20 of Leviticus is the basis for your beliefs about homosexuality, you need to find yourself a new religion. Halfway. That's 5. Should I go for 6? I'm going for 6. I'm going for 6. When Ronald Reagan was president, we had Bob Hope and Johnny Cash. Now we have no hope or no cash. Hagerstown. Fuck! Hagerstown. God damn it. The grammar's even fucked up. No hope or no cash. Learn your own language, you fucking imbecile. This close to 6 in a row. This close. I could taste it. I've noticed Chris Shank has put thank you notes on all of his large campaign signs, but nothing on the little ones. Is this the start of some type of precedent? Just take care of the big people, but the heck with the little ones? Hagerstown. How is that a precedent? Sounds like the abstract for the Republican Party platform. I think it's time for the 2 political parties to change their names to better reflect what they truly believe in. The Republicans should call themselves the Constitution Party, and the Democrats should call themselves the Socialist Party. That way, the people will know what they're really voting for. Hagerstown. Good idea, but I detect a few problems you seem to have overlooked. First, the Democrats can't rename themselves the Socialist Party because there's already a Socialist Party. Second, the Republicans can't rename themselves the Constitution Party because that one's taken too. And if the Republicans have such quaint concerns as, I don't know, winning elections, they don't want to associate themselves with the Constitution Party. I'm all for minor parties, but the Constitution Party is a herd of far-right dinosaurs. You don't believe me? Check out the 7 principles of the Constitution Party of Maryland. Note the contradiction between Principle 2, which proclaims the freedom of thought and action of the individual, and Principle 3, which establishes the narrow and arbitrary religious definition of heterosexual marriage as the only acceptable form of a family. Liberty and justice for all, except people we don't like. Other than that, the notion of renaming the two major parties to reflect their actual natures is appealing. How about instead of the Constitution Party, we rename the Republicans the We've Never Even Read the Constitution Party? As for the Democrats, I'm leaning toward the We Could Fuck Up a Wet Dream Party. I'm getting married on Sunday. Next time you see me riffing on Mail Call, I'll be a wedded man. Unless you go back and watch one of the older episodes, which I encourage you to do. Just don't get confused and think that I'm married in one of those, because I'm not. The ones after this one, they're the ones I'm married in. It's, I'll tell you what, I'll get a ring and I'll wear it on this finger so you can tell. I've got just the one. Thanks for watching.